Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is the No Huddle. No timeouts, no excuses. Championship Sunday is here. We have 4 teams left. 4. Down to 4 final teams in the NFL playing for the Super Bowl. So we start that off Sunday with the Broncos and the Patriots in Denver, followed up by Seahawks playing against the visiting Rams in Seattle. So we're down to the final 4. We'll talk about those games tonight. We'll talk about the head coaching situation in the NFL. We'll talk about anything that's going on NFL-wise. Again, this isn't a specific Raiders show, but of course we will end up talking Raiders because that's usually is in the chat for the most part. But it is open to all teams, fans of all the other teams in the league. So again, if you know somebody that's a fan of the other 31 teams in the NFL, have them come on over, check it out. Get them on screen if they want to come on screen. I'll drop the link in a little bit if somebody wants to come in. I'd prefer it to be somebody that's a fan of another team at first so we could talk about the going on with their team, whether they're in the playoffs, they got eliminated last week, or they got eliminated before the season even ended. So with that being said, let's check in with the chat. Let's see who's here. Make sure if you're a fan of another team, put it in the chat what your team is. Is your team the 49ers? Is it the Philadelphia Eagles? Is it the Raiders? Is it any other team? Just go ahead and drop it in the chat who you represent, who you want to talk about. So first we got Raider News Central in the house. What's going on? We got Jack Gustafe in the house. What's up? Daniel Berry's popping in. What's going on? Boston X, Patriots fan. I've had him on multiple times already. I'm sure we'll be bringing him in at some point because his team is playing in the championship against the Broncos Sunday. Sacktown Raider Mike is here. What's up, my guy? Let's see. Daniel Berry. John Parker's in the house. Let's get the show started, gentlemen. Absolutely. Accelerator's in the house. What's up? I told you I'd be back. Yeah. I know. So, there's a lot going on in the NFL. Even if your team's not in the playoffs, there's a lot of teams that are looking for head coaches. You know, we had 10 head coaching vacancies this season. They're all filled except for we're down to the final 5. And that's, let's see, we got Baltimore. No, Baltimore's just sealed up. Never mind, take that back. So Buffalo's still available. Cleveland's available. Arizona's available. Raiders are available. And who's the 5th one? I know there's 5. No, Accelerator, you cannot. I think we're waiting for the Seahawks. Yeah. I'm definitely. I'm saying it right now, but we will get into that later on too. But I think the Seahawks take it this year. Yeah, I think they take the championship and the NFC championship, and they take the Super Bowl. I just can't see any of these 3 teams left in the league stopping them. Sorry, Boston X, but I don't see it happening. Who's the 5th team? Hang on. Thought I had them all listed. I guess I was off on 1 or 2 of them. I do know, which I find absolutely ridiculous, that Philip Rivers actually got an interview for the Buffalo Bills head coaching job. I don't get that one at all. That is just weird. That's no different than Jeff Saturday. He was coaching high school and then went right to coaching the NFL with the Colts, but beat us. So go figure that one out. All right. It's Pittsburgh. That's who it was. All right. So it's Buffalo Bills, Pittsburgh, Cardinals, Raiders, Browns. Out of those 5, I still think right now we're not number 1 best overall option. I still think Buffalo would fall into that now that McDermott got fired over the weekend. Is the Steelers? I don't think so because I mean, granted, we don't have a quarterback, but they really don't either. I'd still that number 1 pick adds a different twist to the legitimacy of wanting to come here and coach the Raiders. So I still think that we're still the number 2 overall most attractive team to come and try and coach because you're going to have a lot on your side. Buffalo is definitely number 1. I mean, you got Josh Allen, you got Cook, you got 2 really, really, really good tight ends over there. You got a really good offensive line. Your defense isn't that bad. that Buffalo Bills job is right for the taking. So we'll see what happens there. You said we were going to get. You said we weren't beating Houston. Yeah, and you know what? And it wasn't their defense, although the defense seemed a little soft that day. I don't know what happened there. But it was C.J. Stroud blew that game. I'm sorry. I mean, he just didn't look good at all. So, Ray Travis is in the house. What's up, my guy? I said Rams are going to surprise everyone. I mean, I still wouldn't be surprised if the Rams do. I know a lot of Raider fans don't like the Rams because of the whole LA thing, but I know certain guys, I think Sacktown Mike is one of them, that don't want to see Davante Adams sniff a Super Bowl, which I get. You know, with him, with the bad blood that we have with him as Raiders, as the Raiders, I get that. I totally understand that. I just can't see them getting by Seattle. If they were playing in LA, I think it's a little bit more even playing field. But playing in Seattle, man, that is a tough, tough, tough stadium to play in, without a doubt. What's up, Raider Paul? What's up, AO? What's going on? Raider Paul's here. Yeah, no, I'm still not in on Mendoza, so we're not even going to talk about that tonight. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I've been in a rough mood this week. I know I've mentioned it yesterday. I don't know if anybody that's here saw it yesterday, but Wednesday night I did the Raider Connection show, and I kind of went off a little bit on it, and a little bit on Thursday night too. Not with Nate, but like just in general on the show. Wednesday was a really tough day for me. For those of you that do know, you know why. For those of you that don't, I'm going to explain. On Wednesday afternoon at about 5 o'clock my time, 5:55 to be exact, we wrote the time down. We had to put our dog, Bo, down. He's 14 years old. He lived an awesome life. He was such a good boy. And like people that have pets, they're part of the family. 14 years for a lab is a long, long time. So Wednesday night was really, really a tough night for me, and it has been the last couple of days. So we were all there. The family was all there together. It was really my daughter and my son-in-law's dog. It's the first pet they had together before they got married. But I went with them when we picked them up, and on the way home that day, one of my funniest memories with him is he wasn't even with us for 2 hours, and we're driving home with him, and a little shit all over the back of my Expedition. So luckily leather seats, but he just shit everywhere. He was so nervous in the car, but he was just so much fun. He loved his footballs. Man, did he love footballs. He used to just go crazy for the footballs. But yeah, so it was a tough night Wednesday night. So I'm a little bit better today. I'm still feeling the effects of it because for the longest time, because his hips was so bad and his legs technically weren't really neurologically connected, so his legs weren't moving right, and he had other issues going on that it just wasn't survivable long term. Every time I walk out of my office here, where we had him when we put him down is literally straight outside my office on the floor, off into the corner kind of. But as soon as I step out, that's the first spot I see every time I step out now. So that's all I see every time is that's where he used to lay down and sleep when he was down here with us. So, but I appreciate everybody with the kind thoughts and everything in the chat. I appreciate that. But I'm good. I'm good now. Still have my little Gracie girl, though, my little lab, and my daughter has her other lab too. So that kind of helps take some of the pain away from it. But so let's get back to football. I just wanted to relay out to everybody as to why I've been kind of grumpus the last 3 days, but I'm better tonight. So, so where did I leave off here in the chat? Let's see. I don't give a shit about any of these other 4 teams. I'm tired of hearing about Matt. I'm tired about the damn song, and I heard that song growing up because I'm born in 1970, so I've heard that song for years prior to this, and now all of a sudden it's coming back up again. I just want my numbers to hit. Then don't root for the Raiders next year. Mendoza is the future. Yeah, but how come you didn't root for the Raiders this year? You wouldn't even go to games this year. I didn't see you going to any games. You had a chance to go to a game. You had tickets, and you blew it off. So I still went to 2 games last year. I don't care. And I'm still going to go to multiple games next year. And I'm going to be at the draft. So thanks, buddy. What's up, John Raider? Last time Seahawks played Rams in Seattle, they went to overtime 37-38. They lost without Adams. Now they got a healthy squad. Sam Darnold had 4 interceptions against these Rams. That's his kryptonite. Well, we'll see. Thank you. Let's see. He the chosen one. Keep hearing it. Don't sit there and say he's the chosen one. Thank you, Jack. Too bad the Pats are embarking on another dynasty. I thought we were going to get more time with them being a crappy team, but obviously that's not the situation. They've come back. They've come back pretty quick, fortunately. But what's up, Dom? Let's go Raiderettes. Yeah. Jim Everett. Chris Everett. Seahawks are doomed. Rams Nation #1. You know what? I'm glad there's other people in the chat that are promoting their team. So I know there's a bunch of Raider fans in here. Just do me a favor. Be respectful to the fans in here that are of other teams. Don't start giving them shit. I'm trying to build a base of getting fans of other teams in here, and I can't have you guys scaring them off saying, fuck this team, fuck that team. You guys can disagree in the chat, but try and keep it civil. And as long as nobody's being a complete jerk in the chat or spam and stuff, I'm fine with other fans of other teams in the NFL being in the chat. That's what this is all about. Again, this isn't necessarily a Raiders show. This is an NFL type show, where we talk about all the teams, which in a way still affects us, because if a fan comes in and talks about their team, especially if it's a team we have to play against, we might learn something about that other team that we didn't know about before that may be interesting for us to talk about in other Raider shows, because it's news we heard from a fan of that opposing team. So you got to just kind of be open-minded to this in a way. So just out of respect to everybody, everybody be cool. That's all I ask, man. Let's see. Is the draft on? Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh this year. So what's up, linebacker? What's going on, my guy? There's a game tomorrow. No, both games are Sunday. I know next weekend, I forgot what day it is, but it's the senior game, the Senior Bowl. We looked it up yesterday when I was on the show with Leo and Will. I forget the name of it though. They've been bad for 5 years. I heard Dynasty. Yeah, someone else said Dynasty, not me. Even if Seahawks lose Kubiak is gone, he will be a Raider head coach Monday. That's the only good thing about the Seahawks losing. Would be that, it's the sooner that we can get him here with the Raiders. What's up, Jay? What's going on, man? Jim Everett took so much shit for doing something that literally every quarterback in the league does nowadays. I'm going to give everyone shit. Better not. What's up, PNW Mark, man? Luckily, the Raider Jeff crowd is pretty respectful. Yeah, they are. Let's see. Had to scold my barista today. She put out my cup. Come to the 49er Nation. Okay, now that's funny. Led the NFL in TD passes in the 88-89 Rams Nation #1. Let's see. Thank you, John. Hate the team, not the fan. Exactly. There you go. Brandon Travis couldn't have put it any better. Dislike the team, but at least respect the fans. I mean, think about it. You go to another stadium, say you go to KC to go watch the Raiders KC game. You don't want the fans yelling and screaming and doing, giving you all kinds of shit. It's one thing to have banter back and forth, but sometimes it can be gone to a whole nother level, Let's see. Who else is in here? Jack, January 31st, the Senior Bowl. Okay, that's what it was. Is it still the Reese's Senior Bowl? Because I thought that's what Will said when you looked it up. It's not listed as the Senior Bowl anymore. It's a different name now, which is weird. So I'm surprised on that. Cool. I'm going to use my vast corporate connections to get backstage passes to the draft. Let's see. He's with my guy. No, thank you on the Kubiak. You can keep him. Yeah, you're not a big fan of the Kubiak, huh? I know you were talking about that last night a lot. Let's see. Fanbo Podcast, what's up, my guy? One of my members. I appreciate you for being here tonight. If the Raiders trade the number one pick for more draft picks, I want the Raiders to draft Trinidad from Ole Miss quarterback. There's still a chance that he could go back to college for one more. Yeah, I know he's appealing it. It sounds like it may actually gonna go through. I mean, it still remains to be seen, but I don't know. They don't have much time. That's the thing, because if he doesn't get approved for it, then he has to declare at some point, because what else is he going to do? Just sit around for a year? But I'm not going to lie. I kind of like him too. I would, if we could trade out of the number one for the Jets 2 and 16, and then maybe possibly their second round or 2, I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on him second or third round if he's there still in the third round. Less pressure on him, less pressure on the team to have to worry about him producing right away. Whereas you take Mendoza number one, all the pressure's on everybody involved. You know, it's on the coaches, the players, the player. You know, there's just so much pressure that he has to produce as a number one overall. When we all know darn well, he's not the true number one overall in this draft. You know, is he a top 10? Yeah, probably. But is he number one overall talent based on what's coming out in this draft? No, I don't think so. Not at all. Let's see. Jim Rome called him Chris Everett and got flipped in the street. He got smacked him. Yeah, that's why when he first came in the chat, I said, "Oh, you mean Chris Everett?" That was a funny skit, man. That's what put Jim Rome on the map, man, for sure. Because other than that, I mean, before that, you didn't really know who he was. But the Chargers don't have fans, and that's true. Ayo, they don't. They don't. Jim Rome is a bum. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a bitchy move for him to do that to him, calling him that. When he kept telling him repeatedly, don't call me that. Let's see, Jim Everett or Roman Gabriel or Tony Banks or Jackie Harris or Kurt Warner or maybe Matthew Stafford. Who was the greatest Rams QB? Was Kurt Warner there long enough to really... I mean, I know he took him to the Super Bowl, the greatest show on turf. But he didn't do it in L.A. That's a good question. I mean, Matthew Stafford's going to be in that conversation. I mean, he did win a Super Bowl with them. But I don't know, man. That's a good one. Kurt Warner was an MVP. Matthew Stafford could be this year's MVP, so that's still up for debate. Damn, that's a good question. Well, let's ask Jim Everett. Jim Everett, as a Rams fan, who would you consider to be the greatest Rams QB out of that list? So your answers are yourself, Roman Gabriel, Tony Banks, Jackie Harris, or Kurt Warner. And that's what I was thinking too, Mike. I as soon as I saw that name on there, that's the first one that I thought that came to mind as to being that guy. And he said Roman Gabriel. I agree. Your super chat from G-Fam. What size jersey do you wear so I can get you your Mendoza's jersey and your top 3 to 5 free agents you like for the Raiders? Oh, God. I'm not going to give you my size. But thank you for the $5 super chat, my guy. I appreciate you 100%, man. In your top 3 to 5 free agents. That's a lot of jerseys. And they're not going to be cheap based on the size I need. They're going to be bigger. Best thing Raiders could do is trade number 1 pick for more second and third rounders and keep Geno for the season. If they could take Chambliss and groom him for a season, I'm not opposed to that either. Jim Rome is a man's man, practically John Wayne himself. Oh, of course, yeah, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he comes in 2 days and freaking beats us, right? Yeah, Roman Gabriel, I was seriously considering him too, Mike. He was there for a while. Get him a white jersey too, Jim. No, I don't wear white. Hell no. That thing will have ketchup and mustard and all kinds of stains all over it. That's why you never see me wear white. Absolutely not. What's up, J-Dog? No, it's a second question. Who are your top 5 free agents you like? If top 5, I would have to go with, Lindenbaum's my number 1, without a doubt. But again, that's going to be a tough sell. I think that's going to be a tough one to get now. Same as he wants to go to, what do you call it? He's already talked about possibly following Harbaugh to the Giants. I don't know. Because Baltimore, I think we could get him easily from Baltimore unless they franchise him. But I don't think they're going to. But the cost, they don't have the salary cap. That's the issue for them. They're not going to be able to afford that. Which is why I think there's so much talk about Lamar Jackson being talked about in trading, too. So there's that with Baltimore. But yeah, Linderbaum is my definite number 1. I'm looking at just offensive linemen first, to be honest with you. 1 wide receiver, maybe 2 that I wouldn't have an opposition to bringing in would be like Everett from Tampa Bay would be a good option. That veteran, true number 1 wide receiver that would really help these young guys. Pickens, but he comes with baggage, off-field baggage, and locker room issues, which is why he was let go from Pittsburgh so quick and shipped off to Dallas. But if we're talking offensive linemen, you got to even look at somewhat as simple as like even Pimpkins, the right tackle from the Chargers. He had a good year last year. He single-handedly shut down Max in that game earlier in the season. Max, and he was one-on-one. It wasn't like he was doubling up with someone else, like with his guard on Max. I watched that game specifically, and Pimpkins did a number on holding Max back. I think he could possibly be another good fit. Evan Neal from the Giants is another good possibility. But again, some of these guys may not want to leave the Giants now that they've got who they have for head coach and what that team is built for. The Giants are going to be kind of a dark horse in that NFC East, I think, next year. Who else? There was another name I was thinking too. Where is he? It'd be another guard. I'm looking through the list again. Where the hell is it? He was further down on the list too. Oh, Dylan Parham, we can re-sign him too, right? Bring him back for another year. Might as well keep freaking Forsythe while we're at it. Where's the kid? He's from Cleveland. No, not him. Not him. No, not him. Tevin Jenkins. That was the other one. The guy from Cleveland. That was the other one I was kind of looking at too. I know it's tough with the Pickens thing. Like I said, he's got issues. It's hard to rock the white jersey without getting. Oh yeah, man. Because you think about it, when you're a bigger dude, your stomach sticks out a little bit, and unless you're really up on top of the table, you're gonna wear something. That's a given. There's no way around it. His report on Linderbaum is that he wants to be with Jim Harbaugh because he respects him and loves him as a coach. Yeah, see, and that again, we're going to try and bring him to our team, who right now we're not proven winners. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh's a proven winner, all right, and he's going to a team that's got so much young talent and so moldable as players. Whereas he doesn't have that in Baltimore anymore. You got an aging quarterback that's injury prone. You got a running back that's up there in his years now too. Defense, yeah, the wide receivers are like almost non-existent now in Baltimore. They're not that great anymore. His bright spot is he's got Isaiah Likely, who's a really good tight end, and he's got Mark Andrews. Now you go to the Giants. He's got what will be at the time he starts actually getting out on the field. He's going to have a second-year quarterback who had a decent year his rookie year, even though he got injured. He's got a second-year running back in Scatterbo who was doing good until he got hurt. He's got Tracy, the running back, who had a hell of a season taking over for Scatterbo. He's got Malik Neighbors. He's got a young defense, a young, good defense that didn't have Thibodeau most of the year last year. Remember that? He was out injured on and off throughout the season. So now you add in that draft pick that they have. They've got a fairly high draft pick. They add on some more defense or offensive firepower. I'm telling you, that team is they're going to be good. I'm telling you, they're going to come out of that division pretty damn good. Money talks for Lindenbaum, but loyalty coaching is strong. And that is it, Yeah, I know a lot of people are sour on Pickens. I get it. It's very important we sign him to a big contract, yeah. If Raiders want someone as their next head coach from the Rams or Seahawks, do they take their shot with the losing team coach or wait? So if it's all right, so then that means we're talking Kubiak or LaFleur in this case between the two. So my take on that is I would still wait till after the Super Bowl. Even if you're still kind of really leaning towards LaFleur, I want that one-on-one face-to-face interview with Kubiak and LaFleur, which we haven't been able to have yet. So once the Super Bowl is over and both coaches are free, now we could lose one of them. Whoever loses could get hired in that time frame, which is very possible. But that's a chance you got to take. But my taking that chance, I think it still works out in your favor anyway, because if those are your top two guys that you're looking at, you're going to get one of them at least. Is one any higher than the other? Is one worse than the other? I mean, who knows at this point? So you're still going to get a shot at either one of those two. So, and on the good side of it, if they're both still available after the Super Bowl's over, now you can bring both of them in. Physically get them in the building, sit down, talk to them, look at them, get a better feel. Because eye contact and body body language, everything, that all says a lot too when you're interviewing somebody. So you want to see what type of nervousness they are, if they're able to handle asking, answering these questions. I think it's so much better if you get them in person and interview them. So that's how I would handle that situation. Yeah, it's a gamble. It really is. But I mean, if you ultimately think Kubiak's the overall number one and the Rams win this weekend and Seattle's out, then, I mean, obviously we're going to hire him some point next week. My opinion is to wait till after Super Bowl. Yeah, see, it's the same thing. In order to not risk losing the Super Bowl winning teams, coaches the Raiders want it's another team and not have good other options. Yeah, that's why I would just wait at this point. Because there's still a lot of candidates out there. You already know Kubiak doesn't want to go anywhere else based on his list that he had of who he'd like to coach. We're the only one left on that list. So even if he loses, you know he's still going to be in the running. I mean, Ben Johnson lost in playoffs and Bears still hired him. Yeah. He didn't want to come here, though, too. Remember that. He had no desire to come here. All right, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat. So let me just copy this, put this in here. So when I post this link, it's going to be first come, first serve. But if it is a fan that comes in that's not a Raiders fan, I'm bringing them up on screen first. So just letting you guys know that. So if you end up joining in the same time as a fan of another team other than the Raiders, I am going to bring them up on screen first and let them get their chance to talk their team. All right. It's only going to be one-on-one unless a Broncos fan comes in the chat like Randy N and say Boston X comes up, then I'll bring them both up because they're playing each other this week. Because that's ultimately what I really was hoping for, was to get a Seahawks fan and a Ram fan and a Patriot fan and a Broncos fan so they can debate back and forth on to what they think each team is going to do. So I'm posting the link. So there it is. So let's ask this while we're kind of hanging here. Who do you think out of these two? Oh, yeah, we already got a winner. Boston X is here. I knew he was going to come in right away. So we'll hold off on that. We'll bring him in first. Yeah, good try, Hobo. You're late. What's up, my guy?
I can't believe I'm actually here. I can't believe it's a championship.
Nah, I can't either.
I told you I thought we were going to struggle with Houston, but I didn't expect our defense to play at lights out.
Yeah, that game totally shocked me. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Me, I got too drunk. I had enough food to keep me a little bit not throwing up. So when I came home, I just went and slept. But it was a good game, and then
It
it's
was
supposed to.
it was definitely better than I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought Houston defense was going to just kind of lay the smack on you guys, but proved me wrong.
Yeah, well,
Proved me
if
wrong.
we beat the Broncos, that means we'll be the first team to beat three top five defenses in a row in a playoff run.
Well, I'll tell you my honest opinion right now about the two teams. Um, Denver's offense doesn't scare me, not one bit.
It's the
Not one
defense.
bit. And I think your defense can handle them with no problem.
The defense scares me.
It's and that's what
I
I'm
don't
was
know
going to
if
say.
Jared
Their
Stidham's gonna
defense is their
decide.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah, the defense is definitely their team. There's no toys about it. Now, the one thing that doesn't really concern me with Denver's offense, but makes me feel like they might be better than everybody's thinking with Stidham in there, is Sean Payton doesn't. He's not second guessing anything with Stidham. So
um,
Stidham's used to that
yeah,
system. All right, he's been there for a couple of years already with Sean Payton, so he's familiar with it.
but he
You
hasn't
know, so
played since the 2023
well, and
season.
that's just it. He hasn't had game time experience, but he still is overall familiar with the system. He's been in that system for multiple seasons in different organizations and everything. So it's almost like it's basically a perfect example of why the Colts brought um, Rivers in, because that's the same system he ran when he was still playing.
Yeah,
Because the coaches that were in Indy are some of the coaches he had when he was still playing. So this is a system he was very familiar with. He didn't have to learn much of it. You just kind of had a refresh, and he stepped right in. Wasn't enough to help them make the playoffs, but it's still, it still made them better than if they went a different direction with a quarterback.
yeah.
So I mean, it's almost the same situation here with Denver. But yeah, their defense is a Sertain is a nasty, nasty player.
Our defense scares me, but last time I said a defense scared me, we beat them.
As soon as the Bears drafted Caleb, I said there goes Ben Johnson next year, and it happened. I told fans Brady did his part getting an interview, but we weren't going to get him. Yeah, C.J. Stroud pulled his best Geno Smith
Oh,
impression.
he pulled who was that quarterback you drafted that I watched no film? Jamarcus Russell. He pulled a Jamarcus Russell.
Well, if you go by current quarterback standards for us, he pulled the Geno Smith. Geno Smith's persona was multiplied throughout this past weekend with quarterback play by other NFL
Yeah,
quarterbacks
the
because
thing is, Gino
he
could
wasn't
throw four
feeling.
interceptions and
Well, it
somehow
wasn't just
still win
C.J.
games.
Stroud that played like Geno Smith this weekend. There were other quarterbacks this weekend that kind of played like him, and it's just like you sit there going, "When did this team get Geno Smith? When did he stop
Caleb
playing?"
almost pulled it off, but of course they couldn't just take the 2 points on
Yeah.
the 2 point conversion. I would have went for it. I would have not kicked the field goal.
All right. So I'm going to ask you a specific weather question. Okay.
Don't ask me
So
about weather. It's supposed to be 3 degrees in Delaware tomorrow.
okay. Well, we're going to get to this. Hold on. Watch. So you guys are playing in Denver, which
Yeah,
is not. I mean, it's a cold. It's obviously it's a
not too
cold area and
cold.
everything, but it doesn't look there's going to be like kind of like heavy snow in the area. Now you fast forward to Sunday here in New England. We're about to get walloped with snow here. We're talking up to possibly 2 feet plus in this area. And again, where I'm sitting right now, 20 minutes in that direction, actually that direction, if you're looking at to my left, so
Yeah.
up that way, is Foxborough Stadium, literally 20 minutes away, not even. Okay. So if I'm in the 2 foot section where I'm at, they're going to be in that 2 feet of snow section. So would you have rather them be playing here at home in that, or playing on the road in Denver where there's possibly not going to be any, or if not at nowhere near as much snow as what we're going to get hit with?
Oh, here.
You would have rather played here?
Yeah. See what happened? We did the. Well, shoot. Hold up. Let
Don't
me
you
think
dare
about it.
say it. Don't you
What?
dare say what I think you're going to say, because if you do, I will.
I don't know what I was gonna say.
Never come back on the show again.
I don't know what I was gonna say. I don't know what you were thinking.
Oh, you know what I was thinking. So.
Oh, the Gen Z stuff he will be doing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm not that stupid. No, I hate it. I was just saying, last time we played Denver in the championship, they won, and their backup quarterback was Peyton Manning, and he won. So I'm scared.
Their backup quarterback? He wasn't
Yeah,
their
that
back.
season it was Peyton Manning.
He wasn't Denver's backup. He was a
It was
starter.
Denver's backup towards the end. So when he started the AFC Championship, he was the backup.
What are you talking about? He retired after he won.
The same year, the year last time we played them was the year they made it to the Super Bowl. And Peyton Manning was the backup that year towards the end of the season.
What? He was never
Yeah,
the backup.
I watched the video on it. Peyton Manning, towards the end of the season, Peyton Manning got benched that season. That they won
Are
the.
you sure about that? I don't ever remember him getting benched. If he got benched, it might have been for injury purposes, but there's no way he was ever. Yeah, there's no way Peyton was not the starter. Because he won the Super Bowl and he retired right after that. Because that was it. That was his. I think that was his. Wasn't that his last game?
Towards the end of the season, Brock Osweiler started, and then they said Payne was starting for the playoffs. So technically, he was a backup towards the end of the season.
That had to be injury related. There's no way he was playing bad enough to be benched. I don't see that. So you got a question here. Question to Patriots fan. What's his thoughts on Sean Payton drama telling his fans they can rest during Super Bowl?
Man, I watched the podcast that they had Marcus Jones on a podcast with Ryan Clark, and Marcus Jones talked about it. He said they can also, I think he was either Booty, I think it was Booty said they can rest in Cancun as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Either way, I don't know why you're talking shit. If you lose, it's going to look so funny.
I mean, it's one thing to have confidence. I get that. Confidence, like, yeah, we're going to go in there, we're going to win. But when you start doing that and saying something to the other team, you know, like yeah, they'll be able to rest once they're in Cancun. They can watch the Super Bowl. That you're treading in a different situation there, because now all you're doing is getting the other team fired up now.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to piss them off, and this is where they're going to come out for blood, you know. Especially, again, with the defense that's as good as theirs, don't do that. Especially when you're the offensive wide receiver. You're the wide receiver and you're saying this. You don't think you're going to get your bell rung on Sunday? You know they're going to be looking for you.
Well, Payne was like, "Oh, we're gonna rest 2 weeks," and then Keyshawn Booty was like, "You could also rest in Cancun."
What's up, Mr. Beaks a lot?
Either way, why are you saying you're so confident? But Sean Payton, you haven't been that good of a coach in years. It's his first year in forever. How much being a good coach?
Well, they were decent last year too. They were better this year. They improved this year. You know, again, this was his second year with Bo Nix. You know, the defense got better, obviously. You know, they had a running game now with RJ Harvey in there and everything. So, I mean, as much as I don't like the Broncos, I mean, the fact that I hate both teams is beyond me. You know, that I have to deal with this on Sunday as to, you know, who do I really want to see go forward?
Okay.
No. The Broncos are a better team this year than they were last year. The defense is better this year than they were last year. And they were good last year. Offense got better, you know, but now that Bo Nix is out, that changes things. You know, it definitely changes things. This does with you. Yeah, that was CG fam said it. It was definitely due to injury. It wasn't that he was playing as the backup. They were just trying to keep
technically, if you want to go technicality, he was the backup, but realistically, he wasn't. But for the purpose, last time we played a backup in the playoffs, there was the Broncos, we lost. But it's Jarrett
and the fact that he was with the Patriots at one point too.
Yeah, that makes it even worse.
Well, it's not like he's going to be revealing these great secrets on the Patriots either. Sure. You know, So let me ask you this: what's your score prediction? Obviously, you're going to think that you're going to pick the Patriots to win, right? So
Yeah,
that's
obviously.
brainer. But what do you think we're looking at for a score? Do you think it's going to be a low-scoring game, or do you think both teams are going to put some serious points on the board?
Honestly, I could see it being like a one-score game. I think Patriots. I'm trying to think. I say 23-19. I don't know how you get to 19, but
A lot of field goals.
yeah.
Let's see, John Peter says that game's going to be a defensive battle. Mike Vrabel motivates his guys. I see a 21-21 kind of game fight. Fight will break out in the field. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at that one, too, especially with the words going back and forth between the two. So that in itself is going to instill some bad blood in there. That's a given.
Yeah, we're not gonna fight. We're not fighting, okay? Unless somebody puts hands on Mike Vrabel, then we have to fight.
I think Vrabel can take care of himself. He's a big boy.
Vrabel gonna start swinging the way he was as a
Well, you
player.
saw a couple weeks ago, he hugged a guy face to helmet, and split his lip open.
Yeah, that was last week.
Linebacker, you, Bubby Brister from the Steelers. Fuck you, Curtis. Would you all take Henry Ruggs to set the third back as a fan when he could? Dude, you're a Dolphins fan, Curtis, so I don't want to hear it.
Y'all fucking suck.
He's one of my buddies. I've known him, and I used to play semi-pro football together. We used to call him Psycho. He used to face paint his face like the like Lattimore from the program, the movie. So he would do like the skull face with the the whole skeleton and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a crazy son of a bitch. So I've known him for 20 something years, if not more. But he's always been a Dolphins fan, so I'll give him that. He's like me. I'm a diehard Raiders fan. He's a diehard Dolphins fan. So I think Stidham's turnover, if he has any, will be deciding factor, and that's very possible. Linebacker use says 27-10 Pats. What's up, Eric? Eric says 31-13 Patriots.
Okay, what?
G-Fam says 23-9 Pats. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a tight game, and I also wouldn't be surprised if it's also got some serious point spread to it, because the Patriots have always been good at this. They've always been good at taking advantage of the other team's mistakes. Okay, whether it be a fumble, interception, they don't just get the turnover and go 3-and-out type of team. They've always been a scratchy, fighting type team that will do its best to extend the field, move the ball down, and at least get something out of it, whether it's 3 or 6. As long as you come away with some points, that's all that freaking matters. So this game could easily turn into a game like a 23-9. I think that is possible, because I don't know if Denver's offense is going to be able to keep up with what the Patriots can possibly do. As good as Denver's defense is, and trust me, this pains me to say this, but I honestly think the Patriots are going to win this. I don't like it at all, because I think the other thing is, if the Patriots win this, they get a good shot of winning the whole thing, because I think they're the only one of these two teams left that can match up well to Seattle or to the Rams. I honest to God feel that way.
Oh my God, Jeff actually believes in us.
I don't believe in you. I don't believe in you, because I still want you guys to vanish on the flight over to Denver somehow.
Man, you already know this.
Take a U-turn and fly over the Bermuda Triangle and just disappear. That's fine with me. Or sinkhole opens up, swallows both teams, and now all of a sudden the Bills and the Texans have to play for who's going to play in the Super Bowl instead. So, but I hate having to pick between these two teams. I still would rather see the Broncos win. I know people are going to give me shit about it, but you don't live in New England, first of all. So living in New England and being around these Pats fans the last couple of weeks with the playoffs, it's painful, and will be even worse if they win another Super Bowl. I just want them to get eliminated from. That's why I said they need to be knocked out first round. People didn't want to listen to me. I just want them to be eliminated so I can watch all the Pats fans hang patch jerseys and paraphernalia up for the rest of the season. Bring out, like you have on your head right now, bring out your Boston Red Sox stuff because pitches and catches report in another month. And we forget about who the Patriots are until August rolls around. Because by then, the Red Sox are out of the playoffs.
Just because we're the better team.
All right, so here it is. Sacktown looked it up. He says Peyton Manning was a backup for one game following a foot injury week 17 of the 2015 season.
He was still a backup.
Yep, to Brock. Places at the table, yep. Might be a defensive game, yep. Patriots going to win the Super Bowl. Oh, come on, Hits boy.
I hope so.
Jeff will be a killing. Oh, yeah, dude. Wouldn't you like to see them both just disappear like nobody knows? It's this great unknown what happened to them. I was kind of hoping Randy N was going to be in it today because I wanted to get him on here with you, with him being a Broncos fan, and you two talk about it.
No, Broncos.
But he hasn't showed. He was in the chat last night. So looking forward beyond the season. So what is it you think this team needs to keep them at this level going into next year? Like, what do you think? What's the one major addition that would help this team even achieve even more for the Patriots?
More O-line, honestly. The way Drake May's making his sacks, we need more offensive linemen.
Are you happy with the two rookies, your left tackle and left guard?
Oh, yeah. I'm obviously happy.
I mean, Campbell's good. He's better than I thought he was going to be, to be honest with you.
He's going to die for this team. That's when I knew he was going to be something.
Yeah, that helps big time. But I also see that, I was wrong on my evaluation of him. Like, I didn't think he was going to be as good at left tackle because, the big talk on him was his arms. He has shorter arms than most left tackles.
Always talk about the arms. Like, some players who have short arms become good players.
And a lot of it, the main reason is because it's leverage. Because if you have a longer wingspan, especially at left tackle or right tackle, that gives you obviously more reach because sometimes these defensive ends split out so far that you have to be able to overcome that distance. And if you have to with your arm, where you could just take one sidestep and you get that arm out, you got a piece of them. That's all you need to do half the time. Is just get a piece of a rusher and just pop them good in the shoulder. You'll throw them off their path. You'll force them to have to either spin or make a different move. Quarterback, if he's a smart one and has good pocket presence, will see that and can adjust. And that's why they were saying it was an issue with him with the shorter arms. But he's obviously overcome that because he's been a hell of a good left tackle for years. I know he was injured during the season, but you got him back at the right time.
He got injured for 4 games, but we got him towards the end of the season.
Yeah. The fact that your offense did what they did this year with 2 rookie offensive linemen, and not just 2 rookie offensive linemen, but playing side by side on the left side, a left tackle and a left guard. You don't see that often in the NFL. Not at all. Especially on the left side. That's a rarity on the left side. On the right side, yeah, maybe. Unless you got a left-handed quarterback. But on the left side, that just goes to show you
every position filled, all the sides. Because I don't need Drake May getting sacked 40-something times in a season.
Oh, here's a question for you. Tom Brady, Steve Grogan, or Drew Bledsoe, who is New England's actual favorite QB of all time out of those 3?
My favorite all time is Drew Bledsoe. I can't speak for all of New England, but most would probably say Brady, especially my age. But
they're going to go with what they're familiar with. Now, me being around during all 3 of these guys, Grogan was a different breed compared to those 2. Grogan was a guy that he actually had more mobility than the other 2 did, by far. He took a lot because again the game was different when he was playing. He took a lot of abuse back then. A lot of abuse. He was getting beat up left and right, but he also had one of the best offensive linemen that ever played the game in John Hanner on the left side. So that also helped him too. Didn't put up like tremendous stats, but he also had good receivers back then. You had Stanley Morgan, you had Irvin Fryer. That team was decent. You know, they just couldn't piece it together.
I just like Bledsoe more, mostly because that's who I always go back and watch film of is Bledsoe. I mean,
I
for
mean, it's
Craig,
unfortunate what happened to him because if he didn't get hurt in that game and just basically destroy his sternum and everything, you would Brady who? And that's pretty much
Bledsoe probably would have got released next season anyway. We were coming to the end of his contract.
maybe, maybe not. But you can also blame Drew Bledsoe for Tom Brady because in their playoff run, because he was listening in on the play calls and he was standing next to Brady, and before Brady went on because Drew Bledsoe said this, and Tom Brady said it too in interviews before Brady ran out there. Drew looked at him and said, "Screw that play, go for the touchdown," and he did, and they ended up winning that game and just propelled them, and it just turned everything around from Brady from that point on. So not only did he get injured, allowing Brady to get in the game, but he also gave him like the just screw it, go for it. You know, Bledsoe's telling him this, telling Brady, go for it, even though he knows he's losing his job now.
Yeah.
Short arms, John Randall, Tony Baselli, Lyle Alzado, Anthony Munoz, Richard Webb. Pretty sure arm length only matters at table tennis. Yeah, but Lyle Alzado's defense, that's different. Offensive line, that's different. Yeah, Tony Baselli.
It also matters in basketball because you have long arms to defend people.
Like Manu Bol, his arms are as long as I am tall.
Victor, he's like 7 foot tall, plus his arms make him 10 foot tall.
Most Patriots fans probably can't name a QB before Bledsoe and Brady because they sucked at. Yeah.
I'm only 21. I grew up in a Brady era. You expect me to know every quarterback?
Huh?
I was like, they expect me to know every quarterback of the Patriots?
No, if you know your history, you will. I can name most of our. I mean, if you want me to name obscure quarterbacks for the Raiders, I'll probably be tight on some of them. But I mean, I probably know most of. I can name most of the Patriots quarterbacks through the years, for the most part. You know, do you know Jim Plunkett was your quarterback at one point, #1 pick overall?
Obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not that dumb.
I know, I did see you were. Linebacker says Kenny Anderson or Boomer Esiason or Carson Palmer or Jeff Blake or Pretty Boy Joe Burrow. Who you got for Bengals greatest?
Carson Palmer.
No.
I'm just joking.
I mean, Ken Anderson, again, played in a different era. Ken Anderson was, at the time, he was probably one of the top quarterbacks in his era, that's for sure. The only problem with Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason is they had to throw the ball to Chris Collinsworth. I wish they didn't throw to him. I hated that guy.
Like a guy like Patrick Mahomes.
I'm pissed that they get the Super Bowl. We got to listen to him for the Super Bowl. God damn it.
You know, a guy like Drake May.
I think it might be Ravens versus Patriots in the Super Bowl. What's up, Jackie Moon? I don't know. Let's wait and see.
If it's Patriots, Rams, I swear to God, if it's 10-3 again, I'm going to sleep early.
Yeah, see, I mean, and that's why people are like, oh, why do I have to know about the history about the team? Blah, blah, blah.
I know most. I know every quarterback. Like I know Doug Flutie was on our team.
Oh, I remember Doug Flutie. I remember watching that game live in Miami, the Miami and Boston College game. I watched that play live happen. That was awesome.
I don't think they expected me to name Doug Flutie.
The Cowboys, Roger Staubach, or Troy Aikman, or Tony Romo. I got to go Staubach on that one.
I'm just saying Romo because that's all I know when I was a kid because of my mom.
The one thing I liked about Romo was a good quarterback. It's just, I don't know. He just couldn't put it together. He just couldn't win, period, half the time.
True, yeah. But he was a good quarterback.
All right. If anybody else wants to come in, I'm going to put the link up. You get Boston X out of here if someone else pops up.
Oh, my gosh.
Who you got in the Rams-Seattle game?
I say Seattle, but I want Rams to win.
Now, are you saying that because you think it's the easier team for the Patriots
Yeah,
to beat?
obviously.
Okay.
Obviously.
Well, either way, it's going to be a rematch for the Patriots because they played the Rams in the Super Bowl and they played the Seahawks in the Super
Well,
Bowl.
if we beat Seattle's number one defense, that means we're just the best team overall ever.
Here we go.
7 rings.
G-Fam says Aikman. Linebacker, you saying Rams.
Aikman's also good, but I know Ramos much more as a kid.
I
Because,
just,
like I said, my mom's a Cowboys fan, so kind of grew up around that.
I just think now this is why I wish Buffalo would have won because Buffalo playing in New England in the snow would have been a great game. I'm
And
sorry,
they probably would have lost. Just saying.
which is why it would have been a great game.
I think we're supposed to be getting. I think we're supposed to be getting the 6 to 12 inches up here for snow.
How much are you supposed to get?
Like 12 inches.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not going outside though. I got the heat on.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I have plenty of
That's
firewood in the house.
I have a coffee maker, so I don't need
But the
to
good
go.
thing is I won't lose power because I got solo with battery backup. So
Oh shit, we might lose power too. Fuck.
I
So
won't.
if you don't hear from me,
I won't even lose internet.
you don't hear from me for a while, it's because of the snow.
Or the Patriots lost and you're crying and you're
No, I'm gonna
living in
come
your
on next
tears.
week, win or lose. Like I said, win or lose, I'm coming on the show. It depends on what mood I'm in.
So John Pocket says Broncos are going to pull it off.
You really think?
Says the Rams win. Both games are Sunday though. Just remember, G-Fam, the game's no tomorrow.
I thought the game was Saturday until I looked at it. It was Sunday.
No, they're both on Sunday.
True. We got to play at 3:00.
Yep. New England at Denver at 3:00. New England is a 4.5 point favorite. The spread is 42.5.
Yeah, well, what if I lose my power? I can't watch the game.
Sucks to be you, huh? Let's see. Sunday, the 6:30 game is Rams at Seattle. Seattle is a 2.5 point favorite, and over and under is 46.46.5. So,
Yeah.
all right, I got someone else in the back that's going to come up, so I got to say goodbye to you, my sir.
I'll see you all next week.
I'm sure I'll hear from you next week. Win or lose, you better be here next week.
Win or lose, I'll be back.
You better be.
Yeah, I might
later, man.
be in shambles if we lose.
Hey, stay safe in the snow this weekend.
Oh yeah. Also, Captain Jack said hello to you.
Okay.
I was on the show earlier.
Oh, you're on his show?
Yeah, I was on the show and I said, she told me to tell you to say hello.
Okay.
I promise.
All right, later, man.
Bye, guys. See y'all.
All right, Hobo's here, even though he's showing up as Hawkeye Jeff. What's up?
I'm Hawkeye Jeff. How you guys doing?
Yeah. What's up, man?
You like my choice of style tonight?
Yeah, what's up with the multiple hats? You finally found them all, so you're wearing them all at one time?
Pretty much, man. I'm going hard for the Raiders tonight, man. But hey, I wanted to talk to you about another team too, man. I wanted to get your take on the whole Lions situation, man, because the Lions, after an underwhelming year, made the absolute worst possible decision they could have possibly made and hired Drew Petzing as their OC. So how do you see this playing out, man? The only thing I can think of is just say total disaster.
I don't even know where he came from. Where did he come from?
The Cardinals.
And he was what, their OC?
Yeah. He is terrible. Every
based on how Arizona's been, I would have to say expect the same. But Detroit does have better talent than Arizona right now, I would have to say. But Jared Goff is still going to do Jared Goff things. That's the downside. I don't know. That was kind of a weird, with all the different options out there that they went that route. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that the Dan Campbell magic is starting to slowly seep out of Detroit right now. And the fact
he's
that
the one that
you got to think about it. He loses both his coordinators, offense and defense.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing to overcome. That's massive. And especially, granted, Glenn went to the Jets and they didn't have a good year, obviously. And then you watch the success that Chicago had, now you see why Detroit wasn't up to par like they have been in the past, So,
the loss of Ben Johnson hurt.
Yeah.
They're bad, but it was Matt Campbell who hired Drew Petzing. I still think Matt Campbell is a good coach, but he shouldn't have anything to do with hiring process or anything like that. Because Drew Petzing is terrible, man. I mean, every DC figures him out within like a half of a quarter, and the Cardinals are stagnant for the rest of the game, pretty much. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is in there, whether it was Kyler Murray, whether it was Brissett. It just doesn't matter because Brissett is not garbage. You know what I mean? Jacoby Brissett is a decent quarterback, but I just feel like the Lions might have a losing record this next season, maybe like a 6-11.
So, from the real term one, breaking news: Raiders to join the ACC, predicted to finish 8th in the conference. News at 11. I'm going to bring Alfakasi on with us, too, because he's sitting back there. What's up, A? You're back home finally. Look at you. You hate every minute of it, don't you?
Live in 4K. How are you, bro? Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
Is my connection okay?
Yeah. Hey, Alvo, did you hear the smack that Jeff has been talking about Samoans lately? It's crazy. You just messed with you.
You're a little.
What do you have to say about Samoans? What do you say about people, Jeff?
He said he could whoop 5 Samoans by himself, no problem. That's what he said.
Yeah, if they're all midgets.
Yeah, I'm sure he can.
Even they might have a hard time.
Ain't no such thing as a midget Samoan.
Exactly. There we go. Perfect.
No, I have never seen a Polynesian that wasn't huge.
Woman.
When I was in Vegas, I walked past this woman who I noticed was Islander, and she was bigger than me, not obese, but she was jacked and taller. And I had to stop for a minute and be like, whoa, I can appreciate that.
So yeah, Jeff, right here, this is my favorite Raiders beanie that I have ever had, man. I love this one.
What is that, gray?
But Jeff, where do you see the Lions going then?
I don't see them being any better next year. I really don't. I mean, you gotta look at what division they're in too, man. That's a tough division. The Bears are going to be good again next year. They're probably going to be even better. Packers are still the Packers. Minnesota, who knows with them? So I mean, the Lions. I mean, shit. The Lions finished 3rd in their division this year. They didn't even make the playoffs. So I think I'm telling you, I have a feeling that the Dan Campbell magic has left Detroit. They're not the same team.
Hey Jeff, I'm gonna dip out, man. It looks like my connection's pretty bad. Now you're starting to kind of skip
around a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
I'll talk to you.
As far as the Raiders go, I hope Clint Kubiak gave them a guarantee because they just let a lot of coaches go to other teams without really having a guarantee from Clint Kubiak, as far as we know. So hopefully they have that, because otherwise, I mean, we just lost out on Jesse Minter too.
I'm kind of okay with the Minter one, to be honest with you.
Well, who's
I don't know how high up the Raider brass was on him, to be honest with you. I think they really got their heart set on Kubiak. Real term, dude, if you're a Falcons fan, you want to come on the show and talk your talk, for your team. The link's in the chat. Come on in, man. I'm more than happy to talk to you. Especially the fact that you guys just got a new coach, the whole 9 yards.
So who's left? McDermott and McCarthy. That's about it, right?
What do you mean?
For coaches, besides Kubiak.
McCarthy. Like Mike McCarthy?
Still out there. Yeah, Mike McCarthy is out there, and the Steelers interviewed him.
Yeah, I think that's where you're going to see him go. No, you still got Webb still out there. LaFleur still out there. Kubiak, Dayball's still out there. I know he just interviewed for the Bills job.
No,
Joe
the Packers just re-signed LaFleur.
No, Matt LaFleur, not Mike. No, Mike LaFleur.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, the one
yeah.
from the Rams.
Okay, yeah.
You still got Joe Brady as an option.
Yeah.
Dayball, McDermott. I mean,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
Mike McDaniels is not out of the question yet.
Didn't he just get hired by the Chargers?
Doesn't matter because it could be him moving up to a head coach. He can still leave. I don't think he signed anything yet either. So he wants to walk out. It happens it's happened in the past too. I mean, Jesus Christ, you had Belichick slated to be the Jets head coach, and he bailed on them with a napkin saying, "I resign." Boom, done. Afakasi's back. Oh, you're definitely stable now. Oh shit, yeah. What the hell was it?
I thought we were rid of you, brother.
My home internet hasn't been too great lately. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to take my mobile internet. Anyways.
Yeah, now you're nice and smooth. Before you were kind of fuzzy and like jumpy.
So, Alpha, do you keep up with other teams at all, or just the Raiders?
Nope, don't care.
Although
I have been watching a lot of when I was back in the States, I was watching a lot of the college football just to keep up to date with who we could potentially take in. So I haven't invested interest in that. And salute to you, Pete. Once I've nestled in, I'll set something up on my own channel. I just got back 2 days ago, so I'm still trying to find my feet.
Gotcha.
So did you fly straight home from here, or did you stop somewhere else and then go
home? So I stopped on the East Coast and then from the East Coast back home. I think someone got me sick on the goddamn plane.
East Coast Australia, you mean?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you came to the East Coast here and didn't tell me, I'd be fucking pissed. I'd drive the 3. If you landed in New York, I'd drive the 3 hours just to hang with you for a couple hours and then go home.
Well, maybe next time.
I'm jealous, man.
Have you been to Vegas yet, Jeff?
To meet you while you were here,
Have you been to Vegas yet, Jeff?
No. Last time I was in Vegas was 1985. So,
you should go, man. You should go.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
It's a great experience.
Well, it's like people are like, oh, why don't you come to Bakersfield? All right. Now, in all seriousness, why would I go to Bakersfield if I haven't been to Vegas to watch a Raiders game? If I'm going to go out west, I'm going to Vegas first. Then I'll do all the other stuff afterwards.
A lot of your black hole brothers. Sorry, Jeff.
No, you're good.
I was going to say a lot of your black hole brothers in Vegas, they knew who you were. I was saying when I was meeting a lot of them, I'd say that I would, when they asked me if I knew any of the black hole members, and I'd mention you, they're, oh yeah, Jeff from the New England.
Well, I made really good connections with the TNBC, the Nation's Booster Club. Marty, I don't know if you got to meet Marty and Tommy.
Maybe by face, not by name.
Yeah, because they came out here for now, I'd already known about them and I've talked to them in the past, but Marty and Tommy came out for the Philadelphia game, and that's the first time I got to meet them in person. And they're awesome dudes, man. Awesome dude. I mean,
are you talking about TNBC or the black hole?
Yeah, TNBC. Every time I turn around, Marty's he's taking pictures with him, and him and I had taken pictures together, and it was just that was a great weekend going to Philly. Even though we got our ass beat in the freezing cold, it was still worth every minute of that trip. By far.
Do you know Oso Raider?
Who?
Do I know what?
Oso Raider on Instagram. He's the TNBC prez.
I never met him. No.
I don't know if it's zooming in.
I can't see it. It's too blurry.
I'm trying to zoom. Crying out loud.
Oh yeah,
it's Oso Raider TNBC prez.
So do you think the Raiders got
I've never met him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Jeff, do you think the Raiders got some kind of a guarantee from Clint Kubiak?
Me?
Well, either one of you, really.
I'll let Afakasi because he hasn't had a chance to really talk much Raiders lately.
Honestly, man, look, I'm just in wait and see mode. It's just like, all right, well, I'm going by no rumors. I don't care about who they're interviewing or what they're saying. Like, the only thing I care about is when they announce who's our coach. That's it.
Well,
Charles, I honestly think it's going to be Dayball.
If they didn't get a guarantee from Kubiak, then they just let a lot of coaches walk to other teams now without a guarantee from Kubiak. So that's going to be a problem, maybe.
What's up, Nutty Nate?
Well, it's a huge uphill battle for whichever coach comes in, being that how poor our franchise has been for the longest time now. Plus, we were literally the worst team in the league last year. So
Yeah,
there's a lot against the new head coach taking over the reins and a lot of pressure to be able to
Possibly the worst
produce
team in
better.
league history.
But I guess, like at the same time, how can we be any worse, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's up.
Possibly the worst team in league history, man.
No. Cincinnati Bengals went 0-16 with Hugh Jackson, so no, but not the worst.
Detroit Lions back in when was
Detroit
that year?
Lions
They lost.
had an 0-4
I think it was
season.
2009 or 10 when they yeah.
They
I think
didn't
it was
win
the
a
year
game
just before the year. No, it must have been 2008 because it was the year before they drafted Matthew Stafford, right? For the number 1 pick.
I forget what it was, but they also didn't win a game either. So yeah, no, we're by far not the worst team. This team this past season is still not the worst in Raider history because we did have a 2-14 season, so we at least won 3 games. And the fact that yes, we lost 14 games, but we had a chance. If we didn't win that last game against the Chiefs, we would have been 2-15, which that would have been a record for us, losing 15 games in the season because it's never been accomplished before. We've never lost 15 games in the season. We've lost 14, which we just matched. So this even wasn't the worst record one. Talent and just ability to move the ball and play, I think it was the worst. I think this was definitely worse than last shell season.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. Like even our 2-14 team, they weren't this sloppy.
No, this was
what year was that? Was that 2000? Was that 2006? The year before we drafted Jamarcus?
2008, I think.
It must have been 2006 because Jamarcus was drafted in 2007. That's what the year we had the number 1 pick. Must have been 2006.
Say in a second what year that was.
Well, we had a couple of 2 and 3 win seasons. We had like 5 seasons where we didn't win more than 5
but we only
games.
had one number 1 pick, so it has to be 2006
2006. Yep. There was 2 years before Jamarcus Russell because we had Andrew Walter that year. The next year,
Jamarcus was drafted 2007.
Yeah.
God, I
Josh
haven't heard that
McCown
name
was
in a minute.
Josh McCown was the starter in 2007. We went 4-12, and then Jamarcus's first year as a starter, 5-11, 2008. So
we drafted him 2007. I told you, I know my history.
Yep, number 1, first overall in 2007.
And Josh McCown's another one who was good everywhere
So I like to
else.
say I told you
except
so,
for
but
with us.
I told you so.
Do you know how many games he played in his rookie year?
What's that?
Well, you just said he didn't start until his second.
He played 4
second
games. He
season.
started.
I do remember like seeing highlights of one of his first drives, and there was a little bit of hope. Like he kind of rolled out to the right and he completed a first down, and then we were like, "Oh, okay, it might work out." But then, yeah.
You know what? Just to put him in perspective, I'm going to read his stats, his career stats, because this is just pitiful. I don't know why we do this to ourselves, but so he played in 31 games, started 25. His overall record is 7-18. He had a total of 680 attempts, 354 completions. Okay.
Oh my God.
Just keep in mind, and that's a 3-year time frame. That's what some quarterbacks just did in this past year. The completions, not the attempts. Okay. His total yards was 4,083. He had 18 touchdowns and 23 interceptions. The only year that he had more touchdowns than interceptions was his second year. He had 13 TDs and 8 interceptions. Did he even run the ball? Let me see. No, it doesn't have his rushing stats.
I guess at the end of the day, it's a case of what if he had it upstairs to match the God-given talents, which was the reason why he was drafted number 1, right? I mean, it wasn't through lack of talent. It wasn't through lack of college production. He just didn't have it. Okay.
He had no work ethic, man.
He didn't have this. He didn't have the smarts. That was the other thing.
Right. This and this.
Well, he had no work ethic, too.
Right.
He thought he was just going to come into the NFL and coast. And,
Yep.
Right.
I wouldn't be opposed to McDermott if he does come here. But I still would rather have Kubiak. I want an offensive-minded head coach. especially if we're going to go with a quarterback with number 1 overall, if we're going to stick with the pick, then I want somebody that's going to be able to hopefully grow with that quarterback and guide him. When you see what he's done, or LaFleur's done in this league so far, that's what gives me confidence. I wouldn't get that with McDermott because McDermott's not an offensive-minded coach. That's the thing. He's a different caliber coach. If you want regimented and adding some stability and structure, McDermott's your guy. That's how I think. I think McDermott is your guy. But if you want an offensive-minded young coach that's going to come in here and hopefully set everything straight going forward and grow this offense and just have to put a lot of trust in your defensive coordinator, then I think that's Kubiak and that's LaFleur.
For those like myself who have no idea because I don't really keep up to date with the other teams in there, even though I should because we're looking for a head coach. I get it. Where is McDermott and LaFleur? Like, what are they? Who are they with? What are they? Doing?
McDermott was the head coach of Buffalo, so he's pretty much been there with Josh Allen.
Oh, right. The head coach just got fired. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And the other guy, LaFleur.
Dayball. Or what other guy?
LaFleur. We said LaFleur.
LaFleur's offensive coordinator for the Rams, so he's part of that McVay tree. Okay. He's actually the brother to the Green Bay Packers head coach. That's his brother. And then Kubiak is Kubiak. He's offensive coordinator in Seattle. His father used to play for the Broncos as a quarterback years ago. So, I mean, he's come from being around football his entire career, his entire life, basically. So, I mean, he knows the sport. And you've seen what he's done with someone like Sam Donald. I mean, who expected him to have that type of year this year?
Right.
Hey, guys, I got to get rolling, but thanks for having me on, Jack.
Hey, no problem, man.
Take care, man. Nice meeting you.
Yes, I mean, it's been a lot. I mean, I saw a stat the other day on head coaches in the league. So as of I think a week ago, in a full calendar year, it was a total of 18 head coaches relieved of their positions. So you had 8 last year, 10 this year. So when over half the league has had turnover in head coaches in a year's time frame. Like, just for instance, Mike Vrabel, he's only been in that position for 365 days. Once McDermott got fired, Mike Vrabel is the longest tenured AFC East quarterback, and he's only been there 1 year.
Coach.
McDermott was the longest tenured head coach in the AFC East. So now he's gone. Mike Tomlin was one of the longest tenured head coaches in the league overall. Only the third Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, he's gone. So talk about some serious turnover this year in head coaches, and not just the turnover, but the teams that let their coaches go. Like, yeah, I know Tomlin, he resigned. Harbaugh, who's been a winning coach his entire there for the most part, and they fired him. So he's a hot commodity, which is why he went to the Giants so fast. I just like that we're taking our time, and we as the Raiders, I mean, we're not jumping at the first one, basically. Like, we could have already hired a head coach if we really wanted to, but we're taking our time. We've narrowed it down. We know that Kubiak only has one team that's still available for a head coach that he had on his list. He had a short list, and we were on it. We're the only team left now. All the other teams have hired everybody.
But we have to balance it out, Jeff, with, yes, I like that they're taking their time, but we can't take too much time. Because the longer we take, the less people there are going to be available. So I kind of want them to announce it sooner rather than later, just so we can get the guy we want, not the guy that we settle for like we did last season. Right?
Well, I mean, the good thing is this weekend's games will probably tell a lot for us, meaning the Seahawks and the Rams, because those are the two guys that everybody's kind of hoping we get is either Kubiak or LaFleur. One of those teams is going to lose, so one of those coaches is going to be able to come in for a physical interview, and that's a different type of thing than doing what we're doing right now, basically, is a Zoom meeting, is what they're doing with these coaches now that are still in the playoffs. So they'll be able to do an in-person physical meeting and actually, take him out to lunch, talk to him, spend a whole day with him, just getting a feel for what his vision is with this team. If it's the winner that they're still interested in, we're gonna have to wait 2 more weeks. But I just like the fact that we're not just picking anybody. Like last year, we kind of got screwed because by the time we got ready to pick our head coach, there wasn't much for options. There also weren't a lot of head coaches available that were worthy of it either. So we got stuck with Pete Carroll. I was in favor of Pete Carroll at first, but he lost me. He lost me after the first preseason game. That was it. I was done with him. That and his press conference just sealed his fate with me for the rest of the year.
Look, let's just hope it's better, right?
What's up,
It's
Alex?
got to get better. Has to.
This is I just want the playoffs over now. Only because the Patriots are still in it. I just can't stand them watching them be in it.
Is there a team playing at the moment? Is there a game on at the moment?
No, they're both Sunday.
Okay.
The Patriots are playing at 3:00 my time, Sunday afternoon. So that's 2 in the morning for you, 3 in the morning, 3 in the morning for you.
Right.
So.
To answer, God Family Raiders for life. Salute to you. What free agents do I like? I haven't looked too much into the free agents that could possibly be available, but I do like, from what I hear about Lindenbaum, the center from the Ravens, right? Jeff, right?
Yeah, he's definitely the one that I've had slated as my number one must get,
Right.
and a lot of people do too. Because here's the best thing about it: if we were able to bring him in, your center positions buttoned up with him, and that allows us to keep JPJ at guard, which I think he's a much better player at guard than he is at center. I know Jack Henna wants him back at center so bad that he needs to understand that he plays the position better at guard than he does at center. That's huge. Yeah, he did great in 2024 playing that position when he was in there. But you see that when he played at guard, he can be utilized a lot better. He can get to that second level, meaning to the linebackers and to any of the backs that come in to, try and stuff the run. He can be more effective in that position. He's a little bit more of a freelance type player. Whereas center, you're kind of focused. You're there. But the problem with Lindenbaum, and we did discuss this earlier, is he wants to follow Harbaugh to the Giants. So now we have to compete for him with another team. Baltimore we could have beaten out in a price war for him, in a bidding war, because they don't have the cap. They've only got like $10 million in their salary cap because that Lamar Jackson contract is killing them.
We're just going to have to throw the extra bag at all these guys because that's the only real incentive it is for them to come over to us, is that we're going to offer you more. But
and that's part of the reason
money, so suspend it, for Christ's sake.
And that's part of the reason why
last season, and it's frustrating.
And that's part of the reason why I'm not in favor of the Lamar Jackson trade thing either. People are like, so let's just trade for Lamar Jackson. We're talking $60+ million a year just for him alone. And if we can't rework his contract, plus that means we're giving up draft capital for him, for a guy that's been injured on and off for his entire career pretty much. I don't want to do that. I would rather, if we're going to trade for a quarterback, then I'm on board with trading for a different style quarterback to come in, because Geno Smith's going to be gone. Let's face it. He's not sticking around. So our backups right now, or even once Geno's gone, our potential starter right now on this roster is AOC 12. Okay.
He's the only quarterback we'll have on this roster.
That's it. You got him and Pickett.
We got no one else. Cam Miller's gone. Pickett will be gone. Geno will be gone. We literally have nobody. Nobody else on the practice squad. Remember our 2 drafted guys? They're already out of here. So literally, AOC will be on the final year of his rookie contract, and the only.
And I don't want any of this.
To be honest, do I care? No, I don't care to see any of these bums back again.
No,
don't give a shit.
If you look at and that's the thing though. If you look at the free agents for quarterback, the list is absolutely disgusting. we got better talent on our team now at quarterback than what's out there for free agency, because it's just crap. We're talking like bottom of the barrel stuff. So if we want to bring in a
I'm
quarterback,
not like we've had this argument, so I'm not going to get into it again. You already know our stance. I know your stance, and that's kind of leads me to why I feel so strongly about the quarterback. I know you opposed to it. We're not going to get into it again because you've already done that.
I just don't think. And my big thing is he's not number one pick talent, is what I'm saying. He's not worth that value at the number one overall pick. 3, 4, 5, and beyond, yes. 1 or 2, no. If you're looking for bang for your buck at number one, yeah, I know we need a quarterback and all that and everything. I get that part. But when you want the highest rate of return for that number one pick, it's not him. I'm sorry. And I'm not the only one that's saying this. So it seems like everybody comes after me all the time. But I'm not the only one saying this.
Jeff. And who is it?
Yeah. Who's what? The overall
you were saying
instead?
he's not worth that. He's not worthy of that number one. He's not value-wise worth taking there. So who is in your personal?
I think there's 3 guys higher than him right off the bat, and that's Caleb Downs, Bain, or Reese, the linebacker. There's 3 guys right there, boom, 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 that I have. Because here's the thing with those guys. Those guys are plug and play. You draft them, they're starting guaranteed week 1 because they're that caliber talent. So if, let's say, we get a Bain and we still have Max on the team, that means you're going to have him on one side and Max on the other. That's already a huge upgrade in the defensive ends than what we have on this roster speaking right now. Because right now, you don't have a sure thing or not even a half of a sure thing playing opposite of Max. Kuntz was basically invisible. Snowden's the only one that really kind of started to show up throughout the season. So you get a talent like that with his tenacity and his age and his youth, that changes your defense too, you know? So,
but a quarterback, if you hit on it, changes your franchise for at least a decade.
Yeah, but there's other quarterbacks in this draft you can take a chance on later on in the draft that you don't. Because you got to remember, with that number one pick as a quarterback, the pressure's on. Because if that pick doesn't work out, guess what? First thing they're going to say is Jamarcus Russell 0.2 or 2.0.
But what if it does work out, Jeff?
And it's not
given up.
Huh?
What if it does work out? You're always looking at what if it doesn't work out. But what if it does? Nothing seems to be working out for the last decade and a bit, which is why we're at where we are. Surely we have to take a shot, and surely if it works out, then we're good for a decade. We will not be in this position where we have the number one draft pick for the longest time. I hope in my time as a Raider fan, I don't see us at number one again for a long time, at least another decade.
I agree. Unless we trade into it somehow, I agree. I don't want the number one pick again. I don't like being in this position. I hate it.
I don't either.
Hate it.
But here we are. I don't know. And I agree with that, Paul. Look, I just, I'm not going to bullshit and say I know all the analytics, I know the stats, and I know the technical ins and outs of quarterback play. But I can only go by what my eyes see, because I watched quite a bit of college football there, specifically him. And I go with my gut, whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong. And I'm going to stand on this. I think Mendoza is the guy. He's going to be the guy who's going to take us to the promised land where we've been lacking for the longest time. And I'm going to die on that sword. And if it doesn't work out, I can live with that. I just want us so badly to take a chance, because we just haven't. We haven't taken a chance with the quarterback in the first round since Jamarcus Russell. That was nearly 2 decades ago. I'm so sick of it. I'm done with this quarterback, trying to find these veterans, trying to find the next Rich Gannon. It just doesn't work out. Just friggin' try. If it works out, like I said, the next decade, we're going to be sweet. If it doesn't work out, I can honestly live with that. At least we tried. That's all I'm saying.
The downside is we had a quarterback, but our dumbass coach we had at the time screwed that up. All of our coaches, when he was here, screwed that one up. And I'm going to say the name. It's Derek Carr. We had a guy that was there every year, wanted to be here, loved this team, gave it his all, but we never helped him, meaning we never brought in competition for him. He never had that fire lit under his ass to excel more than what he had to do, because he knew he was going to beat out anybody we brought in. Okay? So we never brought in another quarterback to learn behind him either, to grow into that potential to take over. That's where we really screwed up, is that point. That's where this could have all changed then. And it could have been done with that whole Khalil Mack trade, but our head coach at the time was a complete moron, and our GM, and they screwed up those picks. That trade that we did was epic for us and could have set us up for long term. Just like this number one pick right now could set us up long term with what we could do with it. And the same thing with trading away Max if we have to. We could set this team up for the long term if we do it right. We've got a lot of holes. Let's face it. We've got a shit ton of holes. We have no depth. Our depth was our starting roster this year. All our depth was put into the starting roster because of injuries and players just sucking and having to swap players in and out. We've been in a funk for the last couple of years where we can't win more than 4 games. When was the last time we won more than 4 games? It's been a few years.
It was the year when Antonio Pierce took over. 2024.
That's what, and that was because that was the shot in the arm for the team because McDaniels got fired because everybody fucking hated him, and the team was playing for him at that point and for themselves. So yeah, they excelled. You didn't see it last year. You definitely didn't see it in 2025. I mean, our team was as flat could be. I mean, we looked absolutely horrible out there in those games. Now, I saw firsthand at the Philly game when they came walking out of the tunnel to start the game. I saw 2 or 3 players run out onto the field and over to the bench. The rest all walked out like they had been up for the last 48 hours and had 0 sleep. They were so sluggish and like they didn't even want to be there. And yeah, I know it was cold, but come on, you've played cold games before. Give me a break. They were flat from the get-go. That team, they just looked like they wanted to get in it. That's why it was the second shortest game in NFL history. Didn't feel like it's sitting in the stands. I felt like we were sitting there for 6 hours freezing my balls off. But the game was only 2.5 hours long. Playtime. That's insane. They just wanted to get the hell out of there. They looked horrible. And then the following week they go to Houston or whatever and they almost win the game. It's like, where the hell was that team a week ago? It's like, what the fuck?
We're very void on talent. I agree with you there.
Oh my God, yeah.
We can't. We have the ammunition to turn it around. We have one of the biggest salary caps available at our disposal, right? Which is where I would preferably like to address the offensive line. Bring in 2 free agents. I don't care how much money you have to throw at them. Just spend it. Don't give a shit. And that would be my main priority. And sure, whatever else we can do, but I'm going to stand 10 toes down, like I said, and take Mendoza number 1. But it's not like Mendoza's the only draft pick we have. We have 9 other picks in the draft to address everything else that we could possibly have to find, like depth players or possible starters. I mean, we found Max Crosby, in the 4th round a few years back? I mean, just because you don't have a number 1 or first round anymore, if you can find guys in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, and if we do that, then we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay.
Well, let me ask you this. What are you going to do if the head coach comes in here and Kubiak, Mendoza's not the guy they want?
If it's not the guy they want, it's not the guy they want.
We don't know what this guy wants, whoever the head coach is. We don't know that true direction. Yeah, that GM and Brady and Mark Davis can go down to the national game. I mean, there's no saying that that's what's going to happen. Everybody's just going with the consensus number 1 that, it's him, just because we need a quarterback. I get it. We need a quarterback. And as long as we address – now, hear me out. This is where everybody kind of gets pulled back into what I'm saying. If we address the offensive line in free agency, then I am all for. If you think Mendoza's the guy, go get him. If that's the case, you go get him. Plain and simple. But if we can't address the offensive line in free agency, because you're not going to be able to do it in the draft. You're not going to be able to get guys in the draft that you think are going to come in here because we only got the 1st round pick. We've got number 37 in the 2nd round. We don't have the 1st pick in the 2nd round. Okay, so you're already not getting that top 33rd player in the draft. You're already falling back a little bit, right? So then your next option isn't until the 3rd round, and we're still not the 1st pick in the 3rd round. We're the 4th pick in the 3rd round. All right. Remember, it changes every round because we had a 4-way tie for the finish at the end of the season. So if we can address the offensive line in the free agency, go do it. Get him.
But even if not, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
But my problem is, what's going to entice guys to come here? That's the problem. Are they going to come here because
of the money?
Yeah, but it's not just the money though either. Sometimes you got to think about it. We're a dysfunctional team. No matter who comes in as the head coach right now, they have to. Whoever comes here as a free agent has to either love that head coach that's coming here, or know the plan enough that they want to be involved in it. Other than that, that's still a tough sell. Would you come here or go to New York? Or would you come here or go to New England if New England's hiring? If they're looking for another offensive lineman. We're not that enticing. Sorry.
Jeff, if I can get in there for a second. Remember Derek Carr in his first year, right? Remember, we didn't have the car insurance year one. It was year two where we went out and brought in free agents, and Gabe Jackson was starting to come into his own. I mean, we had Donald Penn, but for the most part, that car insurance wasn't until his second season and beyond that. So, even like I'm with you. We have to make that a priority, a high priority in free agency. But if we don't get our guys, then we need to do a better job of coaching the guys that we do have, maybe get them to be up to scratch. Because on paper, I've said this to you before, Jeff, I don't think like our offensive line with some of the pieces we have should have been as bad as what it was last season. Like no, JPJ, if he'd have taken a step up from his rookie season, would have contributed to that. DJ Glaze, a guy who showed high promise in year one. And when's the last time we drafted a right tackle who showed promise year one? Every tackle we've drafted has struggled to a point, even Colton Miller. Mm-hmm. And then what? Like it's like he forgot to play in year two. You know what I'm saying? We've got who was that guy? Caleb Rogers, the guard who showed some promise in year one, and we still have Colton Miller. So there's four guys that I don't think are that bad. Like with the right coaching and with a little bit of development,
you just said the key word, coaching, because we already know our offensive line coach was horrible. Right. So I would already expect us to be better in that category comes this next coaching cycle, because you're going to hopefully get somebody in it. If the guy that I'm hearing comes over with Kubiak as the offensive line coach, then full steam ahead, because this guy's good. This guy's a really, really good offensive line coach, and that will elevate that line. We just got to get rid of the guys like Kappa, Forsyth, and Parham and replace them.
Get rid of those guys. But do you feel what I'm saying, Jeff?
No, I get it. I agree 100%.
From a talent perspective, they shouldn't have been as bad as what they were. And I'm with a lot of the guys in the chat. I point the finger at coaching. It was that bad. And hearing some of the stories about how they were doing their own workouts, that says all you really need to know, right?
Yeah. But when your GM has to actually take these guys aside and go through game film with them, that's not his job, but that's what he has to do to get the team better, or try to get the team better.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, offensive line is huge. Yeah, I didn't expect the offense. I thought the offensive line was going to be good last season. I didn't expect them to regress so bad. But then when you hear all these stories,
on paper, they should have been a lot better. Like that, to see JPJ treated the way he was, and even DJ Glaze to regress the way he did, like that is inexcusable. And then Caleb Rogers came in the very end of the friggin' season and showed some promise. I mean, where the hell was he when we were struggling with our offensive line woes, when players were going down to injury? Like, man, it was just, that's last season. All right, I'm going to put that behind me. Moving forward, I just hope whoever takes over as our coach can see what we see, that the pieces that we do have, they aren't as bad as what they were last season. And if we can get them to trend upwards, then our offensive line will already be heading in the right direction, which is going to help whatever we do at quarterback, right?
You're absolutely right. And I'll tell you what, now I'm really starting to think that Caleb Rogers was a better player than what they were saying. It was because of the poor teaching that he was getting from Carroll. So if he wasn't good enough to start until so late in the season, how really bad was he prior in the season? Was he really good, but because of what Brendan Carroll was doing or not doing, did that regress him from not even getting out there sooner. So I think he could have been playing even because I projected him to be playing before the break or right after the
we were seeing Murphy. I was seeing Murphy on the field. The two games I watched live, the LA game and the first game in Vegas, which was against the Broncos, I saw a lot of Murphy. Well, Murphy wasn't that bad or terrible. I mean, he was an undrafted free agent. To get anything out of him is a win for me. I wouldn't mind seeing more of him next season, right? But it was just very interesting to me to see him on the field rather than Grant, who only really got game time or significant game time in the last, 2-3 games?
Yeah, Grant played a lot at the end. Caleb Rogers, he went out there. The very first game he got involved with kind of set the tone for him. I liked what I saw in the very limited time he was out there. And then his next game, he played a lot more. And then I think his third game, he started and played the entire game, and I saw a lot of promise from him. Just his mannerisms on the field, his stance, his just everything. He had a good head on his shoulders. Like, he was very aware of his surroundings when the ball was snapped and what was around him. And you could see that. You didn't see that with the other guys. Like, you didn't even see that with Kappa. You didn't see that with Parham. I mean, he had a lot of tendencies that I really, really liked. And I think he's got promise to really be a good offensive guard for us going forward. Ultimately, I would love to see Colton Miller at left tackle, JPJ at left guard, and then put Caleb Rogers on the right. Whatever we do for center, if it's in the draft, because I would love to draft a center if we don't get Linderbaum. I want to draft the best of it.
I can dig that.
And then either Glaze back at right tackle or screw it, we put Grant over there. Try him out over there. Or maybe even move Glaze inside as a guard. I think that would be the best thing for us because you know why? I love solidifying that left side with the two best offensive linemen on your roster. You get JPJ and Colt Miller over there, and you run a lot of basically it's the old school Highway 63 in a way, and you just run Genty right up between them, and just because we're going to be a run heavy team next year, we have to. Especially if we're going to have a rookie quarterback, you need to have him have an established run. Because if we don't have an established run game, he's going to get killed. Because teams are just going to tee off because they know we can't run the ball if we don't come out and consistently run it.
I hope we draft another running back this season.
Oh, we have.
I wanted us to draft. I wanted us to draft two last season. I'm happy. You know my stance on the Genty pick. I still stand on that. But yeah, we need another guy in there.
Well, what
Zamir White, thank you for your services. Mostert, thank you for your services. Dylan Lobby, is he even going to be more than a special teams guy or even make the roster next year? I don't know.
But they're all free agents.
Lobby's still
the only one that's not a free agent is Genty.
And Lobby?
Yeah, he's a free agent too. They're all going to be going.
He's not.
Lobby? No, I thought he was.
Lobby's only been on the team for 2 years.
No, I thought he was here long.
He's still on his rookie contract. No, man. He was drafted the same year as Brock Bowers, remember?
Okay, all right. So you're right. So Mostert and White are gone. And that's fine because, I mean, Mostert's going to be 34 by the time the season starts. So,
I really don't want these older, over-the-hill running backs. Like, just draft somebody.
Yeah, and again, you're right, too. We should have gone with a second running back last year, and we didn't.
Right.
Because you need somebody back there as a 1-2 punch. You need somebody back there to give Genty a break. Because if he's going to be running the ball as much as we're kind of hoping he does, you don't want to burn this kid out. He needs a break, So we got to get another.
We have 10 picks. We have 10 picks. Surely we can use one of those mid to late rounders and take a fly on a running back. Sure, right?
I mean, last year would have been the year to draft a second running back because there were so many good running backs. There were running backs taken way late in the draft last year that have ended up being starters in the league this year. So I mean, they're out there from last year.
Is any of those Miami Hurricane running backs going to be declaring for the draft?
No, because I believe one of them's a freshman.
Okay.
Because I did bring that up. I did mention that on another show.
Because I watched quite a bit of Miami leading up to the championship game. Because my guy on 6 season is a big time.
I figured that too.
We were watching a shout out to my guy. Yeah,
I would ask.
I like what I saw from some of those Miami running backs.
Oh yeah, dude, they were good. I'll tell you, that's a stacked team. They're going to be good next year too.
But I will say, for all I disagree with you about, like what I want to do with the number one and what you want to do, one thing I will agree with you on is that Bain cat is a bad man. And if we weren't to draft quarterback for whatever reason, Bain would be the only guy I'd be like, well, okay. I'm with you on that. I think Bain would be an instant starter, and he's going to be a game wrecker for years to come. Well, I don't know. Like I keep saying, I just want us to we have to take that shot. We have to take that chance. We can't let another year go by, especially when we're in the best position we'll be in, hopefully for, like I said, another decade, another 2 decades. I don't want to see us picking at number one again. I really don't. And like I said, I'm not an X's and O's a coach or know the technical ins and outs of quarterback play, but I know what my eyes see and I know what my gut says, and I'm going to go with that. Mendoza's my guy.
We the people, Parham isn't bad though. Oh no, Parham's horrible. And don't go by PFF either.
I don't think he's horrible, but I think we can do better after he's had 4 seasons with us. Are we really going to give him another shot? No, I'm good. And just on Jack Kenner's. Sorry, go ahead.
God, no, I just real quick. I will say that's one of the only times I gave Parham credit last season. I saw him pull, and I was impressed. That was the only time I was impressed with him all season. He had a play where he pulled, and he got right in front of the running back and cleared the way for him. He's quicker than I thought, but that's because he's a little bit lighter in the ass, too. He's not a heavier guy. God, what was it, Jack? What?
Jax was talking about Lucky Tassi. I really liked what I saw from last year's preseason. So I've said it all along. Like, I'm rooting for this guy, and I think, with all things considered, like, he played very well, considering that was his first professional games or games of American football, let alone at the top level, and he held his own against third strings, but still he held his own. So I'm good with keeping him there on that developmental international player program for another year. And I don't know if he can develop faster than that. That's going to be a huge win. But for now, he probably still needs time. But the signs are encouraging. But again, I'm not expecting anything until he takes the field and starts playing as a depth guy. But if he does, then that's a huge win. It's a huge win. I'm rooting for him.
Here's another guy that stepped up too, Jonah Lalau. I mean, however you say it, I don't give me shit. Yeah.
Laulu. All right, you're not the only one, Jeff.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I thought he had a great year too. I mean, he stepped up when we needed him to. You know, I like what I saw out of him. You know, even Tonka Hemingway had some good games in there too. I'm not like a lot of people were all up on them at the last game of the season against KC. I'm like, I'm going to slow down on the KC one because
it was more Tonka, wasn't it? Was it the other guy?
For that last game,
it was Tonka Hemingway who was the one who was starting to show some encouraging signs. What's the other guy we drafted? I forgot. Tonka Hemingway and
my God, Pegues.
Oh, JJ. Yeah, so I don't recall seeing too much out of JJ Pegues, but at least Tonka Hemingway was starting to show some encouraging signs. But I just want those encouraging signs to turn out to be at least somewhat of a decent rotational guy at best. Because how many times have we swung at defensive tackle in the last 10 years, and none of these guys pan out to be even that? A depth guy. It's getting ridiculous, and I'm so over it.
Yeah, it's you guys you corrected me. I looked it up too. Yeah, Collier and Lobby are still on. I thought they were all free agents, but I wouldn't trust them as a change of pace back to come in behind Genty. I would like a bigger frame type of running back. I want somebody with some beef on him. I don't want another midget running back. Where are we in the chat here? Because I am way behind in the chat.
How come it always seems like I'm so far ahead, like when it comes to the chat, even though I'm your guest and I'm from another state?
Because I get talking Well, I get to talking with like yourself, and I'm just looking at the screen. I'm not really looking at the chat. So
But doesn't this chat scroll down automatically for you?
No, when I click on it, I stop it right there so I don't lose my place, because I don't like just jumping right to the most recent one. I scroll down at my speed, you know. Plus, when there's a lot of people in the chat and they're talking, that's why spammers suck. First of all, luckily nobody's spamming. I'm not saying people are spamming, you know. But when people have a lot,
it's been a good chat. It's been a good
chat. Yeah, no, it's been at a great pace. It's just when people have a lot to say, you know, it just goes by so much quicker, which it's really tough on Wednesday night's show because there's 4 of us. All 4 shows are, you know, we're all linking or we're all streaming to our platforms. So not only is it those 4 shows, I'm streaming to X, Leo's streaming to Facebook, I'm doing Facebook, Jay's doing X and the YouTube. So we're talking like 8 chats combined into one. And that just adds to it even more. So if some of the chats get overlooked, that's why. So just so everybody knows ahead of time. So sometimes it's tough to.
Well, you can super chat and your chat will get highlighted.
That helps, yeah. Because when those come up, I usually hit them right away. You know. Who is better, Cleveland Farrell or Tyree? Well, Farrell's still out there doing his thing. So.
Yeah, he's still what he was at the Raiders, a depth guy, a serviceable guy, and nothing more.
Yeah. Tyree's getting out there by default because we just got no other options.
Tyree's starting to traject a little bit. I will give him that. He finally had his breakout game, if you can call it that, or his signature moment, because he hadn't had a signature game up until that very last game. So I will give him credit. I think Tyree's potential could lead him to be better than Clee, but like Clee's nothing more than a rotational guy at best, or a contributor, and that's not what you want from these guys you pick in the top 10. I'm sorry, that's well below the expectation. The fact that Tyree was still fighting to get on the field come year 3, that's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And that's crippling for us.
Yep. And he's a perfect example of value for your pick. So we took him number 7 overall. Did we get the best value at that number 6 pick? Hell no. Because we could have gone so many different directions. And I'm not saying that we could have just taken Jalen Carter. But there were still other players we could have taken that would have been better. But just Jalen Carter, because that's the one that we thought we were going to be taking at that point. Just him alone, what he's done in his time in Philly, imagine him doing that here. We wouldn't have to worry about Christian Wilkins. Wilkins never would have even been here, to be honest with you. We never would have even brought Christian Wilkins in at that point. It would have been him. You know, that hurt us last year. What Wilkins did by having to let him go, that hurt our defense.
A lot of things hurt us, man. A lot of things.
Yeah, but that was a big one on defense because he's a run stopper. He can get in the backfield. He can be that kind of assistant game changer along with Max. You know, but that weakened our defense big time.
That draft class that Tyree was a part of, being that it's now been 3 years since that class. And I've said it how many times that 3 years is enough of a sample frame to know if a player's got it or they don't. When you look across the board from that draft class, we had, 9, 10 picks, and the best of the bunch was, Trey Tucker, AOC, and maybe Michael Mayer, who I still believe, like, people categorize him being, we've got the best tight end group in the league with Brock Bowers. Yes, I agree with you there. But Michael Mayer, when it comes to production, no one's going to sell me he's even come close to what you should have produced as a second-round guy that we traded up for. That was the best tight end in the league. I mean, we've drafted guys later than that, Foster Moreau, Michael Rivera, who produced more numbers in their rookie or second year than Michael Mayer has done in the entire time he's been here.
Yep. And I've been saying that this week, too.
That's the draft class that hurts us. Tyree Wilson, round 1. I mean, we were just talking about him. Round 3, the calamity that's friggin' Byron Young. The wrong Byron Young. The Rams take the Byron Young, who's now playing at a fucking Pro Bowl, all pro level, and the guy we get, he doesn't even last, 1 season before we ship him out of here because he ain't done shit. Like, that's the kind of stuff that hurts us, man. It really hurts
Well,
us.
like this week, we were talking about, what do we have for talent on the offense? Like there's only two guys on the offense you can, without a doubt, count on: Brock Bowers and Genty. And Genty, we still don't know his full potential. And so, well, Michael Mayer too. I said, I'm sorry, but Michael Mayer's good, but we still don't even know his full potential yet. We haven't seen it between injuries. His issue last season, you still haven't seen what you ultimately can get from Michael
We haven't
Mayer.
seen the best of Michael Mayer. Like I agree, from the potential and physical attributes, he shows flashes. But like when I look at production, I'm going to stand on that. Nobody's going to sell me the production we've gotten out of him is even close to what you expect, even from a backup tight end.
Yep.
That was a guy we traded up for in round 2, and that was the best tight end in that year's draft class.
Oh, I agree with this one 100%. Pharrell and Wilson can both go back. So yeah, I'm done with. I'm sorry, I'm done with that. I didn't even want to give him another shot this year, to be honest with you. This past year, 2025.
Well, Tyree can get his 4th year, and then whatever happens from there is whatever happens from there. But
yeah. As 805 says, he's an MVP when he's unblocked, because whenever he doesn't get blocked, he gets a sack or he gets a tackle for a loss. As soon as he gets somebody's hands on him, he kind of just. He's only got one move. He's got no finesse. He's got a bull rush move, and that's it. He's like the polar opposite of what Max is. He just looks slow out there. I'm sorry. I just don't see any speed or get up from him. Max is a different person. They're two totally different style players at the same position, which is kind of amusing.
He doesn't have to be Max, but again, you can't take
but
a guy 7th overall, and that's all you're getting is a rotational guy.
Yeah,
come year 3. It's those kinds of things that really hurt us.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You think about how many kids come out of college and enter the NFL draft. Only the top 200 and whatever make it to the NFL draft. A whole bunch get selected as undrafted free agents. And then out of that, the number drops even more on who makes it, because each team has to dwindle down the 53-man roster. Your chances of turning pro from coming out from college are not good, to be honest with you, unless you're like a complete blowout superstar. Those guys are far and few between too. I mean, the percentage is just astronomical, how many college players there are and who actually makes it.
Right.
I mean, you have to be like phenomenal. And the guys that get cut, even that are like 4th and 5th rounders, they're still way better than most of the guys that don't get picked. And if they don't stand a chance at pick 5 in the 5th or 6th rounds, those other guys barely stand a chance. Yeah, Christian Gonzalez, that's the one. There's
a lot of guys we should have drafted, but we didn't.
Imagine what we could do with him instead right now. Oh my God! Because I watch it all the time, living here in New England. And I see Christian Gonzalez out there for the Patriots doing his thing. It's like, God damn it, But that happens every year. There's always players that get picked right after the guy that you pick, and you see them go on to great things, and then you see us with what we had, and you go, what the hell?
Or players that leave our team, and then they go on to other teams, and they just finally figure it out, or they just turn it up, like Calabon Chason. I mean, man.
Even Spillane's one of their top guys over there in New England now, too.
Well, what about Divine Diablo? Apparently, he was playing at a Pro Bowl level at the Falcons. I mean,
and Morig's out there too.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think the only player I can think of off the top of my head that was great for us, left us, and became just a footnote in the history of the NFL was Namdi. Because he was great with us, and once he went to Philly and they put him in a different system on defense, wasn't the same guy. Plus, he was what?
He was already 9 years deep into his career, and he only played those 2 seasons with the Niners and the Eagles, and then he was out.
Now he's an actor. Now he's acting.
But yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I love Nami. But here we are. We're still trying to scramble to find the next Nami. We haven't even come close, right?
Outside of Zach Thomas, name a defensive player that's ever come from Texas Tech. Exactly. Oh, I couldn't even answer that for you. I have no clue. Shit, this 55-year-old linebacker defensive in high school could look good if unblocked with a cigarette in one hand and a Sierra Nevada in the other. Yeah, okay, that, Jack. You better put some meat on them bones first from how I hear how tall you are and skinny. You go play basketball. Look at Jack's like 6'8" or something like that. He's some ridiculously height.
Is he really that tall? Oh, wow.
He's tall. He's tall. I never met him, but I heard from the guys that went to Bakersfield last year when they met him for the first time. They weren't expecting him to be that tall. They're like, holy shit.
I really hope you get a chance to go to Vegas this season.
I do too. I trust me. Well, I got a lot going on this year. So I've got the draft in April. Luckily, I'm driving to that. It's a 9-hour drive, so I can handle that.
So you go into the actual draft?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh. So that's the only reason I'm going. So I'm going for we're going to drive out Wednesday. So we'll already be there when we get up Thursday morning because that's day one. So day 1 and 2, I'm going to go to the draft. Saturday, I'm not going to go to the draft on Saturday. Instead, we're going to drive 2 hours west. We're going to go to the Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's only 2 hours away. I've never been. So it's like that third day of the draft where it's like round 4 and on, I can catch up with that on my phone or whatever. So go to the Hall of Fame, spend the whole day there, drive back to Pittsburgh, and then we'll come home on Sunday, make a nice little long weekend out of it too. So, but then I got the Patriots Raiders game again next year, which we don't know when that's going to be, what time of year. And then we got the Raiders coming to New York to play the Jets. That's going to be the game to go to next year. Anybody that's thinking about traveling to a Raiders away game, that New York trip is going to set up to be pretty damn big, because you're going to have there's a lot of chapters. Black hole chapters, independent clubs like Silver and Black Empire, booster clubs. There's going to be a lot of organizations involved in planning that weekend. Mike from Raiders Against the World, he's coming out. So it's going to be a big deal.
Speaking of which, that was one of the coolest things about my experience in the US is getting to meet the different clubs. Like, obviously, the Black Hole and TMBC, your two most well-known booster clubs within the Raider Nation fan base, but there was a lot of other ones that I came to meet along the way. I went to this random bar to watch that game you were at live, and I met up with the Inland Empire. Have you heard of those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about Leo's group or?
No, that's not Leo's group.
Inland Empire? He's the Inland Empire Black Hole chapter. That's the one Leo's the president of.
Is he?
Yeah, the Black Hole chapter, Inland Empire. I know there's Inland Empire booster clubs, which is different from the Black Hole chapter. That's probably what you were talking about.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Because I went to this bar in the middle of nowhere because I was on the way back from seeing On 6 out in Marina Valley, and the Inland Empire just happened to be at this bar, which literally it was surrounded by desert. Like there was like nothing out there. It was like a beacon of come watch the game here, and I went there.
Like something out of a movie set where you're traveling down an open desert road, and all of a sudden this bar appears out of nowhere. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I got to get going, Jeff. I got a few things I got to take care of.
Yeah, I'm pretty much.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. As soon as I saw you pop up below, I'm like, I know he's going to come on, and I'm going to let him stay in for a while because, you haven't really been on any shows lately, like long-term type stuff. I know you were on the other day with last week with Leo and them and shit. But so I figured, it's been a while since.
I like coming on when I've got my setup at home. I sound better. Yeah. Everything's all how I want it to be, rather than when you join by your phone. I have to worry about, is my audio coming through right? Do I sound like trash? Is the visual quality even any good? Like, I'd rather do it this way. I can't even see the chat when I'm doing it via my phone. So,
yeah, that's true too.
You have to kind of go back and forth, and it's just not optimal. Not ideal.
Yeah. Well, I
Thank you for having me
appreciate
on,
you
man.
popping in, man. That was awesome that you came in. I love getting on stream with you and talking football because, like I've said before, you're just so passionate about the team, and I get it. You know, you only want the best for the Raiders, and just like anybody else, but you take it to a different level, and I love it. That's what I love. I love the authenticity.
From passion, man. There's a reason why I came to the U.S., even though we were literally the worst team in the league, and I was still there. You know what I'm saying? I went and saw 3 games, and it was still one of the best experiences of my life, and something I will cherish forever.
Again, I appreciate you coming on here, and I can't wait for you to get back onto your own show, and when you go on and talk about your travels out here and everything that you got into. So that'll be fun. So,
all right, man. All right, well, you take care. I'm gonna head on out.
Yeah, brother.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. We're at that 2-hour, 10-minute mark. Arnie's one last question here. Who is better player, AOC, Geno Smith, Minshew, Jimmy G, or Jarrett Stidham? They're all kind of shitty. Yeah, I don't know if I could even want any of them. I mean, I'm always partial to the AOC 12. I mean, out of all of them, I'd probably have to go with him. He's the one that I could probably trust the most. Geno Smith, I don't trust worth shit. I wouldn't trust him watching my kid for 2 seconds. Fuck no. All right, everybody. It's been a fun night. Thank you, everybody, for being here in the chat. G-Fam, thank you for the super chat earlier. I appreciate you. John Parker, thank you. Appreciate that. Just need to start getting more fans in of other teams, too, so we can really get into that talk. I know this weekend we've got the 2 championship games, so if you guys watch them, we'll talk about it next week for sure. I'm sure if win or lose, Boston X will be in here talking his Patriots. I want to try and get Randy in here next week to talk about his team if they win or lose. I'd like to get I was hoping they would both be on tonight, but only Boston X was here. But I definitely need to find a Seahawks and a Rams fan to come on. I know there was a Ram fan in here earlier. I don't know where he disappeared to. But maybe next week, depending on if they win or lose. Doesn't matter. They can still come in. But until next time, folks, I will actually be live Sunday during the games. I'm going to do watch parties for both games. I'm going to do one separate for the early game between the Patriots and the Broncos, and then I'm going to set up a second studio that'll take effect once that game starts. So I will be on twice during the day on Sunday. And nothing else to do other than watch football because it's going to snow like a son of a bitch on here Sunday. Then I'll be back on Tuesday night on the Most Notorious podcast, along with Raider Will and Cheetah Linus. And then Wednesday night, the Raider Connection with myself, Cheeto, Jay from Just Raiders Baby, and LV Raider 10. Make sure you guys get over to all those different channels if you haven't already. So it's Cheeto Linus, it's LV Raider 10, it's Just Raiders Baby. Make sure you get over, hit those channels. Silver and Black Podcast is Raider Will. And I'll see you next Thursday night with myself and Nate on Raiders Coast to Coast. And then right back here next Friday night. So don't forget to tune in next Friday night. And as I always say, everybody, stay safe. Go Raiders. Love you all.